Our final reader of this evening is Rose Moran. And Rose is known to you all, and she's a committed poet and has at this stage published a number of anthologies and collections of poetry, and a writer that I know is very much influenced by her home and her sense of place and her place of origin. So Rose is going to read some pieces from her latest collection called Meadows of Dispel. Yeah?
That's right.
Great, you're welcome, Rose. Yes.
Thank you very much. I hadn't timed, so I'll watch it. 5 minutes, I think.
Last time you're on, whatever it takes, Rose, you're all right.
Thank you, Fergus. And my home place, Abbeyshrew, I dedicated a book to Echo Fields and the characters around. But it's so lovely to be here on Poetry Day. I was looking forward to this very much. In April especially, I suppose that's when it comes, with some kind of a National Poetry Day in October or something. But April is so lovely for us, isn't it, with everything emerging, the bloom and the blossoms and the trees and the bushes. And this book is a celebration of nature. When Alan McMonigal reviewed it, by request by Fergus, and it's on virtualwriter.ie, he said it's a celebration of fragrance and beauty and earth, and he called it like a pilgrim's progress. I loved all he said. I didn't think it measured up to all he said, so. But he found things in it, of course, that I hadn't realised were there. But it is, I was delighted he called it, because we're so conscious of being eco-friendly, all the eco-friendly concerns and care of the earth at this time. So I was thrilled that it just happened, it seemed to just happen that I brought it out at this time in the planet's age. And I love, yes, what you're saying, Fergus, about identity and home place. And you know, the way you feel in the beginning you belong to one place, like Abbeyshrew is the biggest place in my life, and the places around it, and then the people. But it is so true for Alan McMonigal to say it's like being a pilgrim of the earth. We need to leave home and find our home wherever we are. It seems to me. But this book seemed to be saying, asking myself the question, who am I? In retrospect, I look back and I'm saying, I was really asking, who am I? I'd done one before that, and the Dennis Grigg said, that's a good place to start, the one I did before it. And then I said, yeah, it is like, and poetry helps me do that. I'm sure it helps other writers too. Keep discovering who I am, keep discovering the roots, and keep discovering the wings. But it's Earth. There was Earth Day last week as well, which coincided. So I said, oh, this is a kind of coming together in the month that I love a lot, April. Remember, Margaret? Normally, your first book was April. Something about April.
April Promise, yeah.
April Promise, that's right. So thank you, Fergus. In fact, I meant to introduce this by, I love the lyrics of Elton John, which always put me in the mood for listening to poetry, being with poetry, celebrating poetry. Now, of course, he sang them, but I like to say them, because I find they identify something for me too. What happens when I give myself to poetry? It goes, I meant to do my work today, but a brown bird sang in an apple tree, and a butterfly flitted across the green, and all the leaves were calling me, and the buttercups, nodding their shiny heads, greeted the bees who came to call. And I asked a lizard the time of day, as it sunned itself on a moss-grown wall. And the wind went sighing over the land, tossing the grasses to and fro, and a rainbow held out its shining hand. So what could I do but laugh and go? So what could we do but laugh and come when Fergus said he had a room booked for Poetry Day? Yeah. So I said that in Arda at the launch of this book, and I said there's a kind of madness about poetry, you know, when you get into it. And Mither, we were talking about Mither there and being mithered. And somebody from the audience said, well, you're in with the right crowd here, if that's what you're after, the kind of madness. Well, this was, the first one I'm reading here is called Beltane with Marianne. Margaret mentioned spring. And we're on the doorstep of summer. The eve of May Day, the old traditional Irish was Beltane, the fires, Tinna, the fires of Bel, the goddess. And in the Leitrim custom, you talked about the custom of Bridget, a Leitrim custom which I learned from Mary Ann, who's writing about, was to put the summer flowers on the doorstep, front and back. I don't know if any of you have that. The wild flowers for the eve of May Day, Beltane. So, as well as putting out for Bridget, it's either the seasons, the nature seasons. So I learned this from Mary Ann, and it was a friend of hers who had missed out on her birthday, and he was home from England, and he said to me, will you come with me to meet Mary Ann? So this is what I wrote sometime later. Beltane with Mary Ann. Wild flowers scattered on Mary Ann's doorstep, front and back, eve of Beltane. Primrose, cowslip, buttercup. Fires lighting, late evening air warm and calm in the townland of Clonfannon. Are you there, Mary Ann? Are you there? I am. Mary Ann opens the door, heart welcome smile in eyes of 88 years. One hand leans on her stick, the other on the latch. Come in, you're welcome home. We'll sing the song of my 80th birthday. I can't believe I am still alive. With Irish mist, a health to us three. Rhododendron overhangs the vase on the kitchen table. A toast, if anyone can sing it. Believe me, if all those endearing young charms, you would still be adored as this moment thou art. Eyes and face smile with stories of all the friends and neighbours. You'll be here for my 90th, and we'll sing. There were hard times in the past, but now it's summer again. Mary Ann says goodbye with a smile. We part. Summer all around her, she celebrates Beltane. That's Mary Ann. So this book actually, I never know for certain, Fergus, but do you live in the vicinity, you live in the vicinity of Newtown Falls?
In the parish, yeah.
In the parish, that's what I was thinking. Well, I lived for some years in the parish of Newtown Falls, and that was my place after Abbeyshrew and Coalhill and Ballymahan and Lanesborough that I came to be a citizen of. So this is celebrating part of Newtown Forbes as well. But the Irish for Newtown Forbes is sometimes called Lisbrack and sometimes Clongesh.
Clongesh, yeah.
And Clongish,
Clongish.
the Clongish Football Club. But I was wondering about that word, Clongesh, and when the children, you know, the Texaco art and the children's art for tidy towns, they represented it as the meadow of the swans. And I thought, are they mixing it up with geese? But I was thinking of the old Irish literature, and gas is a spell, fui gasa, would be under a spell. So I thought that would be a lovely name for a poem about Clongish, Meadow of the Spell. I thought there was something intriguing about it. But I checked it with Sean Cahill, or Dresden, and these people. He didn't say it wasn't so, but he said, well, you can have your own interpretation. I still like what I interpret it as. So that became the name, and the title poem here is page 26. So in honour of Clongish, 26, and my time there, well, there are a few connected with Clongish and this castle. The Meadow of the Spell. Autumn sunbathes Clongesh, scents meadowsweet, honeysuckle, wild raspberry and thyme. Rabbits race over morning dew, beige calf suck Simmental mother, Charolais lick each other. The new moon harvests the light, stretches evening into night against the shades gathering. Body particles store the heat and photosynthesize the energies of sun rays to ward off disorders. The spirit soul holds the resources to balance with the temporal. I can hear a duck laughing. I thought you might laugh.
I just read that before I came. We just had.
So what is it? One more?
That's all.
Yeah.
One or two more. I'd like to go outside the island as well. Are you familiar with Clare Island, anyone? This is a short piece. Clare Island, off the coast of Galway, is it? Mayo, that's right.
Mayo.
Thank you. And there are two great companies, there are two great boating companies, but one's the Pirate Queen, and the other is something about Grace O'Malley. But it was the Pirate Queen that we sailed on Clare Island. She sat on Captain Gower's stone to let the wide load lorry pass. The little road climbed uphill through the mountain grass. Sunshine bathed the beach below, around Clare Island blue. Big-eyed sheep, all black face, lifted heads to gaze and chew. From Runa Pier, the Pirate Queen sailed the Atlantic waters. She left behind a mainland mind to island walk the hours. So, well, Curlay, we're all connected, we all know Curlay. I did go outside the country altogether. Maybe we'll stay in the country for today, for this evening. It's about a National Poetry Day. Curlay Interpretative Centre, probably all familiar with it. This was, I saw it at night one time. I'd written another one on Curlay, but this one, well, it'll tell itself, but it was a night view. It was when we came out at night. The mystic white enclosure, lit under a blue-green umbrella dome, faces the full moon hung above the heather at Curlay Interpretative Centre. Heritage Week celebrates the bogs, woods, flowers, trees, the Edderclune sites, the monuments and the built heritage of Longford, Europe. Lough Ree and its islands, invited by historians, unlock their treasures. Legends link the islands to the mainland and help interaction with inhabitants. We are moved to gather, to reminisce and wonder, to be like native Indian or Janus figure, to look forward and back, around and under. Bound together in the same myths, we reconsider the rituals, lest we fall out of them forever on the road to we know not where. Now I could go Kerry. Anyone have any connection with Kerry, apart from myself, or Loch Forbes? Loch Forbes. Sean Cahill was a member of our group. And a lot of you knew Sean Cahill. So Sean was fond of boating and he often brought us, but he often relived his own boating days. He was a native of Newton Forbes. And we sailed to Derringe. Gubrua was the name of his first boat. We sailed to Derringe. The Gubrua edged into the stepping ledge. A line of stones led to the high ground. A hearth space and wood for a fire ritual. A drink to story with. Fishing baits of childhood days are set. Sun, food, laughter, and a pause to listen to birdsong. All creation at one. We sense why Alather stayed. Alather was a 7th century founding Christian foundation. Made a Christian foundation. He came from the west of Ireland. So he would be the original Christian founder in Newton Forbes. That's a little bit from Newton Forbes. And the next one's going to be my last one. Achill. Anyone on it? Should have prepared this. No, Morning Curry Lane. When I went first to live in Newton Forbes, there was a laneway called, they called it Curry Line later on. The original was Curry Lane, the Curry Lane, and it went off down into a bog. And I used to get up early morning and walk down there into the bog with the bog cotton growing. But this was a morning, Curry Lane. Irrepressible birds, green fields, suntails from afar over the light beige herd. Little apple tree all blossomed over, and the great chestnuts' leaves enlarged beside the beeches. Cow parsley hedges. 1 o'clocks in the grasses where buttercups and daisies waken to the May. A creamy white drapes the hawthorn, and no traffic sound mars the silence of this soft laneway. Thank you.